Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Lattafa's Badee Al Oud, Honor and Glory. Alright, so Badee Al Oud, Honor and Glory is from the House of Lattafa. It's no depart from concentration, and you can pick this sucker up for $40 at places like Fragrance Buy. Link will be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have a coupon code. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Fragrance Buy if you decide you want to shop with them. Presentation on this, very similar to the rest of the Badee Al Oud series. This is the newest flanker for those not familiar with it. Really nice box presentation on this. Has the kind of plasticky, but a thick kind of plastic window that's up top there. All the necessaries on the back, and it does open up very nicely, revealing our fragrance. Nice little ribbon on the side here to keep this from swinging everywhere. And then on the inside, in this nice little podium, we have our bottle presentation. So again, very similar to the Badee Al Oud original, as well as the Amethyst and the Sublime. Nice little pattern on there, nice metal plaque, and kind of a rubbery bottle to this. So I do enjoy these bottles. They are a nice presentation, nice heavy bottles, nice kind of rubbery coating to it. Atomizer on this is also very nice, decent distribution, good puffs off of this. So overall, for a $40 fragrance, presentation on this, pretty good. So if you're wondering what Lattafa's Badee Al Oud Honor and Glory smells like, you've come to the right place, so I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are pineapple, creme brulee, turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper, benzoin, sandalwood, vanilla, moss, and cashmere. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you definitely get that pineapple and that creme brulee note. The pineapple in this, nice, fresh, ripe, sweet style of pineapple, and then that really nice desserty, vanillic style of creme brulee. Really sugary, sweet, gourmand, delicious, but has this freshness and this brightness that's coming through from that pineapple. Really nice if you're into gourmand fragrances and you're looking for something a little fresh and desserty. This opening you are really going to enjoy. As this one opens up, that pineapple does kind of drop back. It doesn't play a major role in this fragrance. Definitely still there, but not as pineapple forward as I was kind of expecting with this one. What happens in that mid is you get some nice ambery benzoin coming in, giving it a vanillic accord. You get this turmeric note that moves its way through, along with some cinnamon. So the cinnamon gives it that warm spiciness, that kind of cozy feel, warms things up a bit along with that ambery benzoin. But this turmeric note that comes through is very interesting. It kind of took me by surprise, to be quite honest. I didn't think it would play as big of a role as it does, but it definitely is present. Adds almost a little bit of a bitterness to this to kind of balance off that desserty nature, and gives it a really unique, fresh, spice kind of twist to this fragrance. So it is a very unique scent profile that ends up coming through here. Still has that desserty feel to it. It doesn't get overly bitter, but it does add kind of a contrast that is very interesting to this. And that's where you're gonna sit with this fragrance for quite a while. That, like I said, that pineapple drops off, that creme brulee dessertiness stays there, but those spices really take the front stage with that cinnamon, that turmeric, and that ambery benzoin. The black pepper, not so much. You get hints of the black pepper, but it doesn't have that nose tickle style of black pepper that's there. Really kind of sits in the background behind those other spices and that benzoin. As you get towards the end of this fragrance, you get a little bit more of that vanillic accord coming through, some of that cashmere, and a little bit of muskiness comes through. But through and through, this is mostly that spices, those creme brulee notes that end up sticking throughout the duration of this fragrance. The sandalwood on this does add a nice kind of creamy base to this, so it has a nice smoothness, softness, this gentle nature to this fragrance. So overall, it's a very dessert forward fragrance with a unique spice profile that comes through, but it has a nice soft, gentle, comforting sort of vibe going on to it, and it's overall pretty enjoyable. So when it comes to the performance of Lattafa's Badee Al Oud Honor and Glory, I get pretty good performance off of this, really good longevity. This lasts 8-10 hours off my skin, no problem, but it is a mild projector. This does not blast off the skin very hard at all. The first 2 hours you get decent projection, not a huge scent bubble going on in this, but you get okay projection for that first 2 hours. But after that, I do find it sits fairly close. This is very kind of more of an intimate style of fragrance. So you're not going to be blasting people out with this fragrance necessarily, but you are going to get good longevity. I did notice that this sticks around quite a while. Get some on your clothing, and this definitely lasted into the next morning. But if you're looking for like a beast mode projector, you just want to be blasting people with your creme brulee, turmeric, cinnamon, benzoin style of fragrance, this is not going to like fill a room necessarily, unless you're an absolute maniac and you spray this like 20 times. But like I said, performance is pretty good. I like the longevity, but the projection could be a little bit better. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Lattafa's Badee Al Oud Honor and Glory would be most appropriate. Has that casual fragrance sort of appeal to it, but I think this would be a decent date night fragrance as well as an evening out style of fragrance. Pretty versatile in terms of seasons. I think spring, fall, and even into the winter, you can get away with this fragrance, and that's where it would probably shine best. Summertime, this might be a little bit too sweet, a little bit too gourmandy for like the high tropical heat, but because it has a little bit of that freshness that's in there, you might be able to get with it. But the turmeric in here, that cinnamon that comes through, the ambery benzoin, I think might be too much for the high heat, but a summer evening, I think this would be definitely appropriate. And I do think this is a unisex fragrance. Some might think this tilts a little bit on the feminine side because it has that sweet, desserty, gourmand sort of profile to it. But if you are a guy out there that enjoys like a nice gourmand style of fragrance, kind of a pineapple cake sort of vibe in the opening that moves into a little bit more of, like I said, that benzoin, ambery, spicy, vanillic, desserty, creme brulee sort of vibe, I do think you can pull this off, no problem. It doesn't have like an overly feminine tilt to it, so I do think it sits right in the middle when it comes to unisex fragrances. So my overall thoughts on Lattafa's Badee Al Oud Honor and Glory. This one actually caught me by surprise, to be quite honest. I was expecting this to be maybe even like a bit of a redundant pineapple fragrance in my collection. I know a lot of people are probably going to be asking in the comments, so I'll address it right now, right here, right now. It is not like Cahiers El Frisson. The pineapple, it's a little bit similar, but this is not the kind of pineapple fragrance that this one is. So these two are not the same whatsoever, aside from sharing a pineapple note briefly in this one. And it's not like Ishq El Shayouk as well. This one also has a pretty prominent pineapple note that goes into there. But that one's a little bit more of a black pepper that comes through with some woods, a little bit more on the masculine side. I do not find this to be redundant to those other two fragrances. I find this to be much different, and it's that turmeric spice that comes through that really adds the kind of uniqueness to this one. It has a kind of typical benzoin, ambery, vanillic sort of gourmandy feel to it, but the creme brulee with that turmeric and that pineapple that's in the beginning, this does have its own personality, its own character, so it is different and it's not redundant in my collection. If you're into unisex fragrances, like I said, I think this sits right in the middle. Some might find this tilts a little bit feminine because of the desserty nature to it, but I do enjoy wearing this one, and my girlfriend also enjoys wearing this one, so overall I'm pretty pleased with that. Like I said, performance with this is pretty good. Wish it projected a little bit more, but I do think this is a pretty versatile fragrance. You can wear it across many different occasions and many different seasons. So overall, for 40 bucks, I think this is pretty good. I do think the price is going to come down on this. This is a new release, and for 40 bucks for a new Lattafa, that's typically what happens. I do think this will drop down in price. So not necessarily something you have to rush out and get, because I do think you could probably save yourself a few bucks once this kind of comes back and gets restocked. But who knows, just buyer beware. I think this might drop in price, but overall, pretty pleased with this fragrance. Something you might want to check out. That's Lattafa's Badee Al Oud Honor and Glory. And I want to hear from you guys. What's another Lattafa fragrance you want me to do a review on? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.